welcome to another REGARTIS webinar, this time on ethanol's reclassification. Now, we are currently streaming from southern Bohemia, from Lipno. It's sunny here, but we've already faced some technical difficulties with the connection, so please bear with us. Anyway, this is the tea party on the Biocide front. We're going to talk about ethanol's reclassification. My name is Tano Gajdos, and I'm pleased to also welcome the other panelists with me. So today, as always, you'll get the recording and the slides. We will hopefully have some nice discussion, and if the Q&As allow, we will try to push a Q&A sheet forward. Now, with the discussion, we try to prioritize live questions. I will repeat this once we get to the part of the webinar. Live questions will have prior over questions in the Q&A, over questions in the registrations, and over questions in chat. Chat should be available. Please let me know if there's any issues. I'll try to monitor chat as well. But chat questions usually get lost in the stream. So this isn't our first rodeo. We've already held a few webinars. You might already know us from the past events. I've noticed a few familiar names in the list of people jumping on, and I see someone raising their hand. This is a good thing for the Q&A later. If you have any technical issues, please write in chat for me. If there's anything else, I will give you the word during the discussion. We are REGARTIS. We do chemical consultancy, so if you ever need help in REACH, CLP, only representative services, BPR compliance, etc., we are your people. If you need any other help, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And now for the speakers. Today I'm joined by Jana Eliasova and Linda Grohsova from REGARTIS.
Hi. Hi.
As well as Lucie Hermanova from SBLCore.
Hello.
And this is also the place where I'll hand over the mic to Jana and Linda.
Stano, for your cool introduction. And let's start with hot topic. Discussion about ethanol reclassification. So welcome on ethanol tea party. We prepared tea. I hope you as well. So cheers. For start, I want to repeat some biological regulations, some base principles. So, as if you are interested in biocides, probably you know that the active substance must be on the list of active substances. And first step is to check if active substance is on the list and if it's approved. If substance is approved for our product type, the product is regulated completely with BPR regulation, and the product must be authorized because placing on the EU market. If substance is not yet approved, but is under review, and is under review for our product type, we can use the transitional period and notify the biological product according to, let's say, old rules according to national legislations. The advance of notification is a possibility to place the product on the market during the authorization process, because the substances will be approved in future, and then in this time it's necessary to apply for authorization. And if you will apply for the authorization, you can sell or place the product on the market during the process of authorization, which can take more than 3 years. So this is the advance of the notification according to all rules. Also, there's other possibilities, but we will not focus on it today. It's also necessary to approve the new active substance or other processes, and it's aim of other very long webinar. So we have just 15 minutes, so I will not explain it in details. Today we are talking about ethanol. Ethanol is very known substance. We are using it in a lot of uses, including drinking it. Ethanol has EC number, CAS number, our molecular formula. And the current harmonized classification is highly flammable liquid and vapor. Seems to be very simple and very safe, but according to new rules, it's not very safe. And I will show you why and how solve it. Ethanol is, as you know, ethanol is a biocidal active substance for three group of biocidal products. So it's human hygiene, it's surface disinfectants, and food and feed area as disinfectants, especially a group of disinfectants. All of us knows or met products with ethanol, especially for disinfection of hands in case of in time of COVID. So it was it was registered or notified a lot of products for using as a disinfectants. And what is the future for these disinfectants? There is a new classification proposal based on the evaluation of lot of data, some data on humans, and the new proposal is that ethanol will be carcinogen category, probably 1A, or could be also 1B, but probably more 1A, and toxic for reproduction category 1A or 1B, probably more 1A. So, and as well, maybe mutagen category 1A or 1B, but it's under discussion and it's not yet concluded. So from the flammable liquid to carcinogen, it's a very long way, and it's based on a lot of evaluation, and maybe it's not very easy to understand, but this is the result of evaluation of Greek authority, and we have to work with this new situation. What to do with ethanol in future? So if the ethanol will be classified in case of in a context of biocidal regulation, it will be classified as CMR or CR. It will be excluded for authorization of biocidal active substances, and the substance will be candidate for substitution. So what means? According to Article 5 BPR, it's not possible to approve active substance which is classified as CMR, PBT, VPBV, or it's a very strong hazard classes, and the substance must be substituted by other safer substance. Or it's also possible in special cases to approve the active substance. It's Article 5.2, and it may be approved if the risk for health, animals, and environment is excluded. It means if the product or substance is in a closed system, used in closed system, and is no contact with the humans, animals, or environment, or if there is evidence that the active substance is essential to prevent or control serious danger, maybe it could be applied for some other COVID crisis or other similar crises like COVID. And also it's possible if not approving would have some negative impact on society. So there are possibilities to approve the active substance, but it will be also reduced, or it will be the possibility of use will be shorter than before. It's possible to approve the active substance maximum for 5 years, and then it's necessary to find some substitution or provide some information that the rules for in Article 5 are applied, etc., etc. So it's there are possibility to approve this active substance, but with very reduced possibilities on or conditions. And what will be in connection with harmonized classification? If the product, if the active substance is classified, it's automatically included on the harmonized classification. The harmonized classification, there is a longer process. It's not in the same time like if the active substance is approved, but in future the ethanol will be definitely on harmonized with harmonized classification as CMR or CR. So it's also there are consequences not just for biological products but also for other products with this harmonized classification. And it's if the substance is CMR, it's not. It's applied Annex 17 of REACH regulation. That means restrictions. For example, it's not possible to elucidate for general population. And also are other special requirements for CMR substances regarding some labor safe, etc., etc. So there are a lot of other connections with the classification for biological products. It's especially for other groups of uses. There are some examples for alternatives for ethanol that was mentioned in public consultation documents. You can see on the first place it's propanol and propanol and propanol as IPA. There are alternatives for all three group of product types, but both propanols are approved, and it's not possible to use alternative and directly place the product on the market. It's necessary first the product authorized, and then it's possible to place it on the market. So there is alternative, but it's not work currently. It's not work in one time. It's necessary to prepare authorization and prepare application for authorization, and if you know it's very long process, and the authorization it's very long and very difficult process, and it's not cheap. So also it's possible to use the active substance which is not approved yet. For example, chlorine dioxide, but it's just for PT4. Depends on which use is the substance used for human health. It's probably not very useful, because it's chlorine dioxide is not probably safe for human skin. So there are possibilities, but it's not easy to find it. But we will must do it. I have some timelines for you, but these timelines are very unofficial. It's just probably vision for it's just a vision, because we know that everything is planned, which is planned. It's probably to be changed. And first part is it was a public consultation. It's sure because it was finished on end of April. And this public consultation, it will be evaluated, and probably in November 2025 will be final official opinion of Biocidal Product Committee, and it will be announced that the ethanol will be very soon not authorized. Other activity will be proposal for active substance approval. Probably it will be announced in June 2026. So next year, probably we will discuss it with more details, informations. And if everything will do according this plan, the information will be published in official journal on the end of 2026, and then it will be established active substance authorization date. So it's not today, but it's very soon, and we have to think what we will do with our products, and how we are able to help you with your products. Also, are consequences to CLP. Probably in November 2025, will starting some evaluation or investigation how to harmonize ethanol in CLP, and in 18 months will RAC publish the results, and further discussion in Caracal and REACH committee will be in 2027 or 2028. So there are some timelines in future, but as I mentioned, it's not sure. Everything can change. So we will see how it will work. The good idea is, or good news, it's the new classification will not affect food products, medicinal products, or medicinal devices. So it's good, especially for people who loves wine and etc. beer, etc. So the result is we can drink it, but we cannot use it as a disinfectant for our hands. So good luck for you. And if you are interested in more details on ethanol, please follow us, our websites, or follow our LinkedIn profile and stay informed. Thank you. And Linda, floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. I will continue with maybe more, let's say, bottom things, but I think also important for you. There is a business view of this potential changes related to ethanol. Do you already consider that it will cost some money, this situation, whether the ethanol will be approved? It means that you have to consider a lot of things behind the production. I think that you have to consider the business strategy, whether it works to produce or to import products with ethanol, or it is better to leave it or to withdraw from the market, or is there any possibility to substitute the substance in the product? If you have some research and development in your company, maybe you already thinking about it. But more or less, or nevertheless, there will be definitely additional costs if the ethanol will be approved as authorized active substance. Nowadays, there is only notification of the products containing ethanol. But if the ethanol will be approved, there will be authorization, which is much more expensive procedure, and there's a lot of money behind that. Second thing is that you will have to change the label and SDS of your products. If the classification of the ethanol will change, you definitely will need to change labeling of your products. Another money. Maybe you will consider to make new analysis whether it is necessary to have ethanol in such amount or whatever, or you will need to consult your situation with some experts. Another money that must be paid out because experts will waste their time and their knowledge. So another channel from by which your money will go away. Definitely, you should consider also the marketing strategies. Marketing may be changed, the marketing material, marketing approach, because if the ethanol will be classified as CR, let's say, you will not be able to sell the products to end user. So you will have to consider your marketing strategy to which user you will sell your products. Other point is that you can consider substitution or addition of non-approved active substance to your product in order to avoid the authorization of your products. But it means, do you have sufficient R&D capacities? Do you have R&D or people that are able to think about the substitution of the active substance in your product? And from my point of view, it's another money out or another costs related to these potential changes. And last but not least, I think you should consider, in case you will work with ethanol in your business, in production, or you will just use it as a disinfectant or whatever, you have to train your employees, because the classification will be much more harder, much more serious, and it means that people that or employees that was not necessary train for now, you have to train them in future in case there will be the serious classification of ethanol. So I think that this point is, let's say, the other side of the bank, let's say, or of the coin. You have to consider also these things outside the production or the manufacturer. It's not nice, I know, but I think that good analysis in advance could minimize this additional costs, and I think the correct chosen strategy will definitely eliminate the extensive costs that will be related to these potential changes related to ethanol. So I think this is just the point. And now I will leave the floor for Lucie.
So thank you, Jana and Linda, for joining me to this webinar. My name is Lucie, or Hermanova. I would like to introduce myself and our company a little bit. Our company develops software for safety data sheets, and we also offer service for companies that prefer not to use software themselves. These services include creation of safety data sheets. We help with labels, notifications, and more. So our focus is more on a practical part of market in terms of working with documentation and other processes. I have prepared a few points that summarize impacts of ethanol reclassification from our perspective. So the first of all, it's safety data sheet. As you know, safety data sheet is mandatory part of supply chain that provides essential information about the product. SDSs may need to be updated for many reasons. For example, format change or change of harmonized classification of the substance. So the reclassification of the ethanol or any other substance is a valid reason to SDS update. So when the classification of the ethanol will change, that will be change of harmonized classification, and that's a valid reason for SDS update. The point is that each SDS update needs to be distributed within supply chain, and this distribution could be problem for some companies. Distribution is not allowed to be passive, but it must be active, like attaching it to the invoice or via email. So the creation of the safety data sheet is one side of this point, and distribution of the SDS is the second step that need to be done. The second point is are labels. For many of our customers, labels are significant cost, and relabeling can be expensive as well. Some companies keep large stocks of labels for a long period. When products with old labels will need to be sold before deadline or after that relabeled. Additional problem is new regulation that change technical specification of the label. For example, font type and color and white background of the label. So this topic also challenging our customers in this moment, and this is another problem that may be problem for our customers. PC notifications are a next topic that will be affected by the change of the classification. Change of composition or classification of the product lead to the notification update and UFI code as well. It's good to know that some countries charge fees for the notifications, for example, Hungary and Italy, and that means another financial burden for companies. But the PCN is not the only notification that is mandatory. Classification affects, for example, biocide authorization and its evaluation that is under the fees as well. Modification of the substance needs to be added to the CL inventory under the CLP regulation. And the registration of the substance under REACH regulation need to be changed as well. For us, the main problem is what Jana and Linda mentioned, sell to the consumer. A problem is that the affected classification the problem is that affected classification will not be allowed to be sold to consumers or non-professionals. So the manufacturers will need to find a new alternative of the ethanol. As you can see, all points mean a significant administrative problem. Simply label change is sometimes problem. I have experienced when additional symbol on the label led to a loss of trust to the product. Of course, how Jana and Linda tell us, alternatives for the ethanol exist, but ethanol is really good substance that is, for example, compatible with various surfaces, widely known, well effective against multiple types of pathogens, and affordable. On this slide is something that Linda mentioned before. The problem is that not just in terms of classification and documentation will affect us. Loss of functional substance as ethanol can lead to the other points. For example, public health threat. It can have impacts on developing countries. Finding alternatives will be expensive, and it can cause existence problems, not just for the small businesses. So, and so many points on the other side of this problematic. So this is all from me, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Lucie. Thank you, Jana, and thank you, Linda, for both presentations, or all presentations actually. Let's now move to the Q&A section. Let me first start by inviting everyone to Prague Chemicals Management Quiz, which we'll be holding next year in April, and where definitely some resonations of the current reclassification will come into play. You can already pre-register. The early bird prices are available until the end of June. There are multiple tiers. You can check the website. I don't have to spend time talking about it too much. So let's move to the Q&As. Always we try to prioritize live questions. So if you want to ask live, this is your time to raise your hand. Your mic is muted by default, and I can only allow you to turn it on. But if you raise your hand, it will be a signal for me to let you speak. Before anyone considers this option, or maybe hesitates, or maybe tries to shake off some nervousness, let's start with the first question from the Q&A, which actually appeared in the registration questions, and we chose it to rig it aloud here. And this is by Monica. So thank you, Monica, for the question. How will CMR 1A or 1B classification of ethanol affect its use in consumer products, for example, air fresheners? Lucie and Jana and Linda, you are both muted, so please turn on your microphone before starting.
Maybe I will start if Linda is okay with it. How we mentioned both, I think the REACH regulation contain limitation within CMR. So when the product will be classified as CMR, it will not be, you can't sell this product to the consumer, and you will need to find another alternative. It's not able to change the classification according to the test or something else. So after that, it will not be sold, or it will not be able to be sold to the consumer.
Jana, Linda, would you like to chime in, or?
Yeah, I mentioned it before in my presentation. Yeah, it's the same information. It's not possible to sell it to consumer because of article or Annex 17 of REACH. There is restricted to sell or to place on the consumer to consumers if it's the substance, if it's CMR.
Okay, thank you. I would like to follow up on this with a question from Monica from the Q&As, which she asked during the webinar, which I think is relevant and highly relevant. Let's start from the bottom. Ethanol will definitely, it's a question mark at the end, sorry. Will ethanol be definitely classified as carcinogenic 1 or reproduction 1? Or is there still any way for ethanol not to be classified this way? When do you expect the final decision on this?
I mentioned it in my presentation. Probably final decision will be in 2027 or 2028. But who knows? Maybe it will be sooner or later. We don't know. It depends on very, very much factors. So probably it's current information is 25 or 28.
27 or
27 or 28. Sorry. Thanks.
Okay. Would you like to elaborate on the cosmetic products using ethanol as a solvent as well?
Regarding cosmetic products, it depends whether it will be only approved as biocidal active substance, then cosmetic will not be affected. But if it will be reclassified, it means some carcinogenic or reprotox function will be approved or experienced, then it will not be possible to use it in cosmetics, because in general CRM substances are not allowed in cosmetics. So it depends on the final conclusion whether the reclassification will happen or not.
Okay, I see. So maybe this is time to remind everyone that if you want to ask live, you're very welcome to. Just raise your hand, I will allow you to talk. Sylvia asked, how this reclassification influences pharmaceuticals with ethanol content?
Good idea. Probably not much, because the medicals are excluded for this classification. There's a special rules for pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. So it means when your product is approved as a pharmaceutical or medical product, then you are withdrawn from the biocidal regulation, because you have your own regulation. So it depends on the classification of your product, how you launch it to the market, whether it is biocidal product or pharmaceuticals. So if it is pharmaceutical, so you need to have the authorization from state national authority or from European Medicinal Agency, then you are safe regarding content of ethanol, because it will not be affected, even though it will be reclassified.
I see. Okay, on the topics on different products being discussed, let's move to another question by Dorte, who asked, how about using ethanol in treated articles? Is this possible if it is reclassified?
If the active substance will be not approved, so it's not possible to use it in treated articles. If will be approved, probably there will be some conditions for using, and probably in treated articles could be used. But if it's some condition for not using it it's not possible to use it for general public. It's not possible to use it in treated article for general public use. So it will be same situation like with other, but if the substance will not approved, so it's not possible to use it as a conservant, let's say, in treated articles.
I see. So the condition of being used by general public overrules the identity or the classification. Yeah. Okay, let's move to a bundle of questions which we put together. One of those was already touched upon with fresheners, but how about market and supply concerns in general? How will this reclassification affect ethanol use in different areas, in lab testing or consumer products or transport regulations? How about procurement?
So, from this point of view, I think that these areas will be affected in case of reclassification. So if the ethanol will be reclassified to be hazardous more than now, it means that in laboratory testing, where it is used as a, let's say, as a chemical, then there will be necessary different trainings of the employees who are working with that, but it will not affect the laboratory analysis, because the function of ethanol remains the same. Regarding the consumer products, we already mentioned it, that in case it will be CRM substance, then it will not be possible to sell it to the consumer, to the final user or end user. And regarding the transport regulation, I think it could be also affected, because if it will be reclassified as a dangerous for human health, maybe it will be considered by ADR agreement. So we will see how it will finally, what will be final outcome. And regarding the procurement, of course, it may be difficult because there will be another trainings of the people. It will be very restricted area where it could be sold or bought. So definitely yes, but everything depends on the reclassification. If it will be just approved as a biocidal active substance, the effect will not be so big from our point of view. But it will, if it will be reclassified, then all these areas will be affected definitely.
Lucie, do you have any note?
Absolutely approved.
All right. One thing that I think sort of resonates, at least with me, as someone who isn't involved directly, what would need to happen for ethanol to not be classified or reclassified?
Maybe again, Stano?
My bad. At least maybe this is too amateurish for me to ask, but what would need to happen for ethanol to not be reclassified? Is there anything stopping it?
It's very probably that the ethanol will be reclassified. Probably is no way to not reclassify it.
Because there are objective evidence that support this new classification, and it depends on the evaluators how they will consider the seriousness of the objective evidence that are available.
I see. All right, let's move to another question then. And this is, we've already touched upon this, and this is by Alexandra. What will be the situation with the new classification for PPPs containing ethanols that are intended for professional users? And protection products, right?
Yeah,
PPPs.
yes, it's same situation as with other products. If the substance will be reclassified, it will be affect all probably a lot of rules. I think including the PPP, probably.
But if it's for professional users, it will be much more easier than the final end user or end consumer. So the effect will be because you will need to relabel or change your SDS and maybe change your approval of this product, but it will be possible still to sell it to professional users because they are allowed to work with CMR substances or products that contains CMR substance.
Okay, let me pick a question from chat by Beata, who asked, will the new classification of ethanol affect the ethanol obtained by fermenting corn? So does the source of obtaining ethanol affect its reclassification, or is this related to the substance itself?
Lucie, do you have a comment on that?
This is not my topic, so I'm not able to answer it.
Okay, I think that this will depends on the uses of the ethanol, whether it will be for alcohol or for food and beverages, then it will not be affected. But if it will be used in biocidal products or let's say consumer products, then it will be affected.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, the origin of the ethanol is not the case where is the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is in the use of the ethanol, because ethanol is a product no matter from which it originates. So you will have to consider the use of your ethanol obtained by fermenting corn.
The reclassification is directed to the substance, then not anything else. Then, all right. We've already went through all the Q&A questions, and one thing that you haven't touched upon are two comments in the Q&A section. One which says by Pavel, who says none of the propanols can be used as alternative as in PT1 products if we take into account spectrum of efficacy. So I believe this is a reaction towards one of your comments. So what would the substitution be then, if not propanols? Is there an alternative? Is there an alternative?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there are alternatives, but depends on probably research and development, and probably it's up to it's not regulated. It's if you will use some active substances is listed on the list, you can use it if your product will be will have efficacy. So you and efficacy with efficacy test, it will be effective for against the organism. You can use it as for the PT when the substance is approved or it's in approval process. But it's not there is no obligation to use the special substances. It's up to you. It's possible to try to find the best alternative for your product.
I'm very happy to announce that we have a live question. So Monika Hamšíková, I'm allowing you to talk, so you should be able to turn on your microphone. Feel free to do so anytime. Before Monika resolves turning on her mic, maybe this is an accident. I'm sorry. But before that, we have a question in the Q&A by, I didn't have time to put this into the PowerPoint, by Thomas, who asked, what about the use in fuel for cars? The content is up to 10%. So will fuels in cars be affected by this reclassification?
I'm not sure if I will tell something that is trust, but I think that the fuels has acceptation according to the classification because fuels are CMR in this moment. But maybe Jana and Linda will give some more info. No.
We fully agree with that because the classification is already there for fuels, so it will not make such a big difference.
Okay. Meanwhile, Monika disconnected, so I suppose we won't be hearing from her anytime soon. Maybe if she comes back, we understand that there are multiple things which can cause some technical troubles. And then there is one more comment from Daniel, who says that CMR wouldn't affect transport. I believe this was typed out during the market and supply concerns for transport regulations.
Yeah, maybe I understand the Daniel's comment because I was thinking about if there is in transportation CMR substances, then it will at least affect the driver because they have to be trained for taking care of these substances and so on. So maybe it will not affect directly, for example, ADR or whatever, but some effect there will be definitely.
Then we have one more question in the chat by Katrina. I will try to quickly put it on screen. But she asked, if we use ethanol for perfume that is used in cream manufacturing, will there still be new regulations?
So we are back to the cosmetic area. So it means if the ethanol is used for them, so it is in the perfume, then the perfume will be reclassified because of the ethanol content, and it means it will probably not be able to use in cosmetic products. That's it.
Yeah, and if it's used in cream manufacturing as a solvent, it's probably and it's not in final product. It's probably not affect the final product. It's echo there. So.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, thanks. And yeah, if it's not in final product, the final product will be not affected, but the process and the use of ethanol will be affected by the rules for CMR substances.
My apologies for the technical stuff. I have a lot on my plate at the moment. But we have another question from Dorte, who asked, would you advise your customers to substitute ethanol with the alternative from now on?
Maybe I start, maybe Lucka will have another point to that. But in general, I think it's good to think about the possibility of substitution, because nowadays we do not have the exact conclusion or exact decision, let's say, but the possibility is there, and it will be later or sooner. Definitely the decision will be there. So I think it's good to think about it, to consider this possibility that you will have to substitute the ethanol in your products. And it depends on whether or which type of consumer products to be substituted. It depends on your business strategy, on your marketing decision. Because I can imagine that in some, let's say, high turnover products, it will worse. But in some products, it's better to withdraw them from the market because the cost will be so high for the substitution. I think nowadays it's good to start with the deep and very deep analysis of your situation, of your strategies, of your business, and after that consider whether you have the capacities and the money for substitution, or it's better to withdraw your products or find another alternatives, maybe the reclassification of your products, not to try to sell them as a disinfectant or biocidal products and try to use them in other way or whatever. This is the only what can we say to that question nowadays.
I can just agree with Linda, because the alternatives are available, but it depends on the product type and the function that the product need to have and the formulation. So that's just from my view.
Okay, this was a nice overview at the end. I think this is a good place to wrap up the event. There are no more Q&A questions. We could dig into registrations, but I believe we are strictly on time now. So we have maybe 2 more minutes to say goodbye. For the attendees, please do fill out our feedback form. I will link it in chat once more. We highly appreciate any feedback you give us, and we try our best to do our best. So any last words, Jana, Linda, Lucie? This isn't a threat, this is an invitation.
I think that the situation is as it is. We have to handle it somehow, and we should not be so worried about that.
Sorry, I lost my microphone and sorry. It's okay.
Jana will mute it yourself.
Sorry, I didn't catch up the question because my computer was out of.
Just
Okay.
some wrap up, some summary. So I think that the situation with ethanol, it is here. So we have to watch it, take eye on that. But there's no, let's say, life-threatening issue from the point of regulatory, because always there is a possibility how to handle it.
So I will repeat for Lucie as well. Any last words, Lucie?
I would like to say that I'm not a negative person, so I would like just hope that ethanol will not be reclassified, but we will see. We will need to find some decision and some way how to figure it out. So we'll see.
All right then. Last words from me then. Thank you again for all your presentation and your participation in the discussions. All are highly appreciated. Again, please fill the feedback form, and I will be looking forward to seeing you in our other webinars or in the Biochemicals Management Cruise next April. So goodbye, everyone. Thanks again, and see you later.
Thank you. And
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.